keeps everything fair.
Great. Oh, you know what? I thought I had pushed the record button, and then I see that I didn't. Okay,
Yeah.
now we are.
Yeah.
So those are the top 3 that you like. You've been working with them for how many years? 20 years?
About 30.
30 years.
Yeah.
Well, you made me a believer, girl. After what I went through.
I know. So a little bit about me in terms of essential oils. I started using them for my own purposes back in the late 80s, early 90s. And then I integrated them on my own into my massage practice in the middle of the late 90s. And then I was like, I'm going full board. And I went and I got certifications from the Institute of Integrative Aromatherapy, from the Center for Aromatherapy Research and Education. I've been a multi-level marketer for 3 different companies because I liked the products in 3 different companies. And I can go into that a little bit later on as to the reasoning why. I sold them out of my office in retail, and I've sold them to other massage therapists. So I have a wealth of information about it. But in terms of why people use essential oils, oh my gosh, there's so many reasons. Not just when you're kind of down and out like you were, Mal, and you're like, I just got to figure something's got to work. I'm just going to, put everything in with the baby, right, and figure out what works. But when you use them consistently over time, they really help with wellness. And so I don't like healing so much as I like wellness.
Yes.
Right?
Oh, I agree.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And people will say essential oils are expensive. And I will say, sure, relative to what? And here's an example. I have asthma. And when it's not under control and I have to be on prescription medication, my prescriptions run $250 a month. When it's under control, which is 99% of the time, knock on wood, I just use a little inhaler like this. And this costs me $15 a month. This is natural.
This is natural. Got it. Great.
This is natural for $15.
Yep.
It's expensive, right? Or I could spend $250 for a prescription.
Yeah.
So you look at essential oils and they're not that expensive in comparison to what we use to keep ourselves healthy otherwise. Essential oils stimulate your immune system. They help speed the elimination of toxins from our bodies. They stimulate digestion. They help play a huge role in hormones. So for those people who are at the age where they're having tough menstruations, they're really good for that. When you're at an age where I am, I have transferred using them during my menstrual periods to now managing my hot flashes so that I don't have to go on to hormone therapy. So there's for women, there's that whole possibility of wellness around our gynecological aspects of ourselves. And they calm the central nervous system. So they help with anxiety, depression, mania, just overall focus and attention. They help with that because they are infused into our central nervous system so quickly and effortlessly. Because all we have to do is use this.
Where does the different oils go on different places on the body?
Yes. So let's talk a little bit about the safety of essential oils, and then we'll talk about how to use them. So essential oils, these are Mother Earth's medicine. And I will underscore that. This is medicine. Let me underscore that again. These are medicine. And if you don't know how to use medicine, you will hurt yourself. So if you're overtaking ibuprofen, you will hurt yourself. If you overuse or use incorrectly essential oils, you will hurt yourself. And you will not hear that from the multi-level marketers. Let me underscore that again. They will not tell you. They will say, oh, it's fine. You can ingest them. You can throw them all over your body. They are perfectly safe. Case in point, I started using with a client of mine back when I didn't know any better, pine essential oil. And I just put it on because she loved the scent of woods. And I put it on her neat. And that just means put it straight on the skin. And she was fine. But I developed an allergy to pine. Now, I love the woods. So walking through the woods, and when I touch pine needles now, I get an allergic reaction really quickly because I was not cautious as to how I use the actual essential oil. Essential oils come from bark. They come from roots. They come from the stems of the flowers. They come from the flowers. They're cold pressed. Most of them are cold pressed out to get that oil. So we're really going into the heart of the plant to get this rich, yummy oil that serves us so well when we use them correctly. The safety precautions, if you're pregnant, you really want to make sure that you are working with an aromatherapist, a certified one. When you're using them with children and babies particularly, you want to make sure you're working with a certified aromatherapist. And I'll go into some of the other pieces of safety as I talk a little bit more about them. When you go out into the sun, and I know, Mal, you're so good about this now, not going into the sun.
I've been sliced and diced. I'm becoming a quilt.
But you can put essential oils on,
yeah.
And they're really photosensitive ones that if you go out into the sun, you can actually get sunburned with very little sun out there. You can actually get blisters with very little sun out there. And people say, well, which ones, Laura? Which ones? And I say, all of them. And it's not necessarily all of them, but it's like, well, why bother? If it's just, don't go out. If you put oils on you, then you're safe, right? So pregnancies, young children, infants, and being out in the sun, really important safety features of this. Applying them neat. So that means just taking an oil and dropping the droplets on your body neat. Is safe when you've actually done a patch test. And what a patch test is taking one oil and putting it usually on the front of your wrist, not the back of your wrist, no, on the other side.
So because this is the front, front of the wrist.
This is a sensitive piece. Right here is sensitive. Here's not as sensitive. So you can put one drop here, rub it in, wait a little bit, and see if you have a reaction. When you have a reaction, you know you cannot use it neat. If you don't have a reaction, then you know you can start dabbling using it neat.
Okay.
The best place to start dabbling using it neat is on your feet, because your feet are not a very sensitive skin area. They're tough. And if you use them on their feet, reflexology allows that to come into your body. It'll take the oil and it'll bring up all of the information up to your brain. Your brain will go back down and tell you where to simulate the oil in your body for healing.
Where on the foot, Laura, do you recommend?
It depends. So if you're doing back, if you've got a backache and you want to use it for backache, it's on the reflexive parts of the foot. And you can find a diagram on Google for that. Sinuses, if these were your toes, the sinuses are right here. So if you're stuffy, you can put them on your feet right here.
Okay.
Once you've started dabbling neat on your feet and you're getting used to it and things are all good, then you can start using them on your fingers and your hands, because that's another less sensitive area of your body that has a lot of reflexive points. So that's the next stage. And then the third stage is you can actually put them on your face. I usually dilute them, and I'll talk about dilution in a minute, on your face into reflexive points. So what I want to stress is it's the practicing of them neat that needs to be slow and careful. and less is more. Less is more. So let's talk about diluting them, and that'll give you an understanding of why less is more. So massage practitioners use a lot of aromatherapy, and if they are blending their own essential oil blends, what they do is they take what we call a carrier oil. So a lot of people use either jojoba oil. I love jojoba oil. It's actually a wax at room temperature. So it's actually, a really nice, smooth, softening one. Coconut oil, you can even use EVOO, and almond oil are the favorites. So EVOO, jojoba, which is JOJOBA oil, almond oil, or coconut oil. In this bottle right here, there's 4 fluid ounces. Right?
Yeah, I have the coconut oil by doTerra.
Okay.
The diluter. Yeah.
Right. So in this oil bottle, there are 4 fluid ounces. In order to create a decent blend, it would take about 80, give or take, drops of an oil in here, in 4 fluid ounces, to use diluted. So that's not that much, right? This is a 5 milliliter bottle of oil. There are 100 drops in this.
Wow.
So you don't use a whole one of these into this. That's how little you have to use to have an effect. So if you're going to create a little mini oil for something that's going on, we'll talk about those somethings in a second, you would take a half an ounce and use maybe 5 drops. That's it. And you create that blend for yourself.
Nice. Someone else joined us. I hope they can hear. There's no identification. It just says iPhones connected. Yeah. So I hope you can hear this, whoever you are. I am recording it, and we'll put the link up afterwards.
Yeah. So dilution is really important, and you dilute in order to be safe.
Yep.
All right. And you can then, once it's diluted, you can rub it all over your body, and you don't necessarily need a patch test at that point in time. You can dilute it. So there's dilution and there's neat.
Yep.
So how else can you use essential oils? The favorite is scent. Let's diffuse them into the air, and there are so many different ways you can diffuse them into the air. You can. I've got a little trove of things here. You can use
diffusing them.
You can use reeds,
yep.
Right? And I love these for bathrooms and when you're in the kitchen cooking, and when you have dogs. These are really good. I have them almost in every room. You can use a mister, so you can just mist yourself. Okay. I have a travel diffuser. So this travels with me. It's this small. Right?
Oh, that is very nice. Where'd you get that?
Online, Amazon.com.
Yep, travel diffuser. That's very nice.
And all you do is it has a little square.
Yep.
And you put some oils on it. You put it in here, and it's a little fan.
Yep. So it doesn't need water.
Battery operated.
Yep.
And what's great about this is it's really good for hotel rooms.
Yeah, because they always
phenomenal for hotel rooms because they're so stuffy and.
Yeah. That's awesome.
So you can diffuse them. One of my favorites is actually just creating, taking a Ziploc bag, taking paper towels, dropping your oils on it, putting it into the bag, putting it in your car, putting it in your pocketbook, putting it anywhere you want, and then just when you need it.
Ooh.
So energy is everything, right? And the energy within us, the energy around us is everything. And I've worked a lot with people who have anxiety. And I was working with a client of mine who has big anxiety over flying. And so we were going through the whole fear thing and how to do, and we were tapping, we're getting her ready to go on her flight. But we were also using oils during the session that we were working with. And I was like, oh man, she's good here. We need to have a connection between her being calm, cool, collected during our session and being on the plane. So we created the same blend we were using, and on the plane she went, and she kept doing this the whole plane ride. And she actually said that she got over her fear of flying.
Whoa.
Because we worked with it, and there was an association of the scent when she was on the plane with being calm. So you can carry it on your plane.
Love it.
Because these are really hard to carry on planes now because of the restrictions. These you can carry on planes. So there's that. And then there's the high-end diffusion, which is a steamer, so it steams out.
Yep.
And you fill it with water and you put the oils in. And these are really great. What you'll notice about all of these is that I don't have a candle associated with it. A lot of people will say, put them in you'll have the candle with the votive, with the spot on top of it to put the oil. Have you seen those?
No. Oh, is it like a little warmer thing?
Yeah, a warmer. The challenge with that is when the heat hits the oil, it degrades the oil. So you may smell like it's nice, but it actually then doesn't have the therapeutic qualities you want because the oil has been degraded. So it's nice, but it's like having perfume. Perfume is nice, but there's nothing therapeutic about it. Right. So be cautious about when you're using candles to heat essential oils. So that's diffusion, which is great. One of the best ways to use essential oils are in baths, whether it's a full-blown bath or a foot bath.
Yeah.
And I'm full of belief that the foot baths before I go to bed, where I throw in some cooling essential oils, are keeping my hot flashes to a minimum. Because on nights that I don't do it and I go to bed, I flash all over.
Oh.
When you do your
post-flash, so.
Yeah. When you do
so
your...
long ago. I thought it was getting lightning before I know what a flash was.
All right there. When you're using baths, here's the thing. Oil and water don't mix, right? Oil and water don't mix. So you have to put I didn't bring them in. You have to put your essential oils into Epsom salts. Stir it a little bit and then throw the salt in the water.
Now, I've been sprinkling lavender oil in my bathtub.
Yeah, and oil and water, so you'll see the little spots, right? Yeah. And you're not getting the full effect that you could get.
Wow.
If you put it into Epsom salts first and then allow it to go in the water, it allows it to spread out and come through your pores and support you.
Great tip.
You can use essential oils. Another really great way to use essential oils are as cleaning agents around your home. Whether you use lemon or tea tree oil, they are really good antibacterial, antifungal, anti-everything, antiviral substances for cleaning. So you can create I just use water. I put lemon in Epsom salts. I put that in the water, and then I use the water for just general cleaning around my house to keep it sanitary. So it's really great to use as a cleaning agent. Ingesting.
Yeah, I didn't do that the other day.
Yeah, so a lot of people will say that you can ingest them. You can put essential oils into a vegetable cap and then ingest it. If you go over to Europe, they do that a lot. If you train in the United States, the American Holistic Aromatherapy Association, absolutely not. No way, no how should you be ingesting essential oils because of their potency. And so, again, unless you're working with an aromatherapist who has high credentials, I would stay fully away from ingesting them because you can get the benefits from so many other ways. That's not to say you can't use it in your food. So I do have on my, with my herbs, I have a bottle of lemon, I have a bottle of lime, I have a bottle of thyme. I have all these different bottles. But I'm only using 1 drop in a recipe that serves 4 to 6 people. 1 or 2 drops, it's all you need. And at that level of dilution, it's not a concern. It's when you just put it in a vegetable capsule and ingest it, where your abdomen and your juices, your stomach lining is all susceptible to that. I've seen people who put it on a spoon, and I've heard of esophageal problems, Lisa. I've heard of esophageal burnings. I've heard of stomach burnings. So just be really cautious about anytime you think you're going to ingest them.
Okay. Can we start on the 7 oils that you recommend?
Absolutely.
Because I'm just looking at the time on the Zoom. And so I want to make sure we get these 7 oils and what they're good for.
Right.
Okay. I have my pen and paper. I am ready.
So my first is lavender, and that is the mother of all essential oils. If in doubt, lavender. Anytime you need anything, because it is an antiviral, it's an antifungal, it's an anti-everything, it's antibacterial. Mm-hmm. When in doubt, and most 90, I don't know anybody who doesn't like the scent of lavender.
Yeah.
What it's really good for is boosting your immune system and calming your central nervous system. Boosting your immune system and calming your central nervous system. Really good for insomnia, really good for anxiety, really good for anybody fighting a chronic illness to use it daily. So anybody who's undergoing cancer treatments, it's a really good way to augment that. Again, I'm going to say, if you are under a doctor's protocol for something, ask them about it. They're going to say, oh, that's fine. Yeah. 9 times out of 10 doctors will. But just make sure that you're okay with them.
Right.
The second one is tea tree or melaleuca.
Oh, yes. The melaleuca I used when I had the cold. So is melaleuca and tea tree the same?
Same thing.
Okay.
Same thing.
Okay.
It is antifungal, it's antibacterial, it's antiviral, it's antiseptic. So it's a really good cleaning agent. It's really good for fungus in your toenails or your fingernails. Anytime you get a fungus type thing. It's really good for a skin tag. If you've checked and done a neat check to make sure that you're okay with it, you can put tea tree on a skin tag. The best way to do that is to put it on a paper towel, put it on the skin tag, tape it down. Can you tell I've done it? And after 3 or 4 days, it will look really ugly and disgusting, but then it will fall off naturally.
Wow, that's awesome.
So it's good for all those things. It's pretty medicinal smelling, so it's not something you want to diffuse in the air, generally speaking. My third favorite is geranium.
Oh.
And I don't even like geraniums, but it's geranium. It's really good for the body, mind, spirit connection. It's really good when you are feeling that your body is wonky and your mind is going all over the place, to really hone in and come back into spirit. Really great for meditation, really great for yoga.
Oh, I don't have any geranium. Okay, wow.
It's a good astringent as well for good skincare. So it's kind of that girly girl scent of aromatherapy too, and when you think of geraniums, you think of girly girl. So I kind of like girly girl geranium. My fourth favorite is peppermint.
Oh.
Really good for bad breath, halitosis. Really good for digestive health. So, when you put mint in a smoothie, it's really helping your digestive system. So peppermint helps that. It is an anti-inflammatory, so it's really good for bruising. And the other great thing is it combats insects and mice. So if you have a cellar that attracts mice, again, good old paper towels, peppermint on it, leave it around. The mice will be attracted to this because they want to make their nests out of it. And it will be, they usually leave your home. When they start getting sick, they will leave your home. So it's a good way to help with mice. And again, with mosquitoes.
Quick question on the peppermint. You said it's good for the digestive system. So that means you have to put a drop into something and drink it or eat it.
Yes.
Can you rub it on your tummy or anything like that?
You can rub it on your tummy. That will help because we're all about absorption, right? You can rub it on your hand. Your intestines are right here. So you can rub it on your hand.
Either hand doesn't make any difference?
Either hand, it doesn't make a difference.
Right in here, okay.
Yep. And certainly you can dilute it in a massage oil. I use it a lot in my massages for abdominal massage. All right. The fifth one is chamomile. Chamomile is really good for anxiety and nerves and anti-inflammatory. It's that warm, fruity, you think of chamomile tea, right? That's what chamomile is really good for. And I just love the scent of that. It's all calming. My sixth favorite is eucalyptus. And that's all about breathing, right? When you think about Vicks Vapo Rub way back in the day, it had eucalyptus in it. Eucalyptus is great for the breathing, the colds, the coughing. It boosts your immune system. It relieves those aches and pains. If it smells like healing because it's got that camphor smell to it, right? My seventh one is lemon. It's really good for the cleaning, and I love that. But it's good for the wounds and disinfecting too. And I use it. I will tell you, I probably use lemon in my home office every day because it just keeps me alert. It helps me with clarity and it helps me with focus. So those are my 7 favorite ones.
Now, any of these, I have one quick question. Any of these, let's just say you have an ache, like a sore hip or lower back pain. Are any of these good for that?
Peppermint.
So go with peppermint. Okay.
Yep.
Little diluted peppermint, rub it into your hip.
Rub it in. You're good to go.
Okay. Yep. Good.
And then I'm going to give you a bonus one.
Yep.
And my bonus favorite is rose.
Rose.
If the mother of all essential oils is lavender, the queen of all essential oils is rose. It's pricey, as it should be, because it is so powerful, particularly for women. It helps with menstruation. It helps with PMS. It helps with emotional wellness. It helps with good, clean skin. And besides that, they smell good.
Is there, now I have seen that rose oil, there's so many different types.
Yes.
Is there a particular rose oil that you have in mind?
No. I didn't get an opportunity to go into the different kinds of lavender oils, the different kinds of eucalyptus, because they all have different properties, and one will work a little bit better than the other one. But in general, they're all pretty good.
Okay.
Let's talk about blends. All right. So while the essential 7 here with your bonus of rose is 8 are really good, blends are better. Because if one is good, combining the properties, you get the bonus power for it. I will tell you this, blending takes expertise, and let the companies do it. Go buy blends. Don't try to blend yourself.
Yeah.
All right. And that's where the MLMs come in, because they've done the research for you. Other companies do it, and you can get them from them. But do your due diligence when you're looking for a company, a reputable company that provides blends. Don't go to the local farmer's market, because they're looking to dupe you. If you trust your holistic health pharmacy, great, go there, get them from them. Or go to an MLM, because I believe that they have the best ones. So you're asking about a bump and a bruise. A deep blue from DoTerra is really good.
Oh, I have some deep blue, I think.
Yeah, that's really good for that.
Okay. Or for bruise, but more for an injury, like a bruise or a bump.
Yep. A muscle ache or soreness.
Oh, also muscle ache?
Yep.
Okay.
Muscle aches, sorenesses, bruises.
Great.
Anything muscle. Panaway, if you go the Young Living route, Panaway is a really good one. And I could go into so many different ones depending on what people need.
What does Panaway do?
Panaway is it's the Young Living
Deep blue
equivalent to deep blue. Okay.
Now you had suggested to me about how much you loved Clarity, which was a young essential oil. I bought it, but I've been putting it on my wrist this week. So should I do that? Because I love the smell. Yeah. The smell of it is just divine.
Yeah. I mean, I am not a big fan of putting it on my body unless it's something specific. If it's something to shift your energy, that you want to shift your energy, I'm more of a proponent of using diffusion.
Oh, so you can put the Clarity on the...
You can put Clarity in a carrier oil inside this and put it here. You can diffuse it with one of the other ways of diffusing it. So that's the rule of thumb. If it's something specific for your body, your physical self, I would try to use it on your body, whether you whether you dilute it and rub it in, whether you put it in a bath, whether you put it neat on reflexive points, something physical. But if you're trying to shift your energy, I prefer to have it in the air.
Okay.
Because I put, again, less is more. Why are we putting things on our body when we can get it through the air? And diffusion, it will come in, it'll take the essential oil properties. Your brain will understand it the way brains understand things and take it to where it needs to go in your body. So that scent and that energy shifting, let the air do the work for you.
Awesome.
Body, yes, let your body do the work for you. All right.
You told me about a fabulous book. I got it. I ordered it. The one about the aromatherapy for the soul.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Yep. For like a spiritual practice.
Joanne
Woodward, I think.
Woodward.
Yeah.
Let me get it.
I thought you might be interested.
No, Valerie. I knew Joanne wasn't quite right. Aromatherapy for the Soul by Valerie Warwood is excellent for just that, for cleansing the energy in your body. If you're looking for recipes and information for yourself and your body, Valerie Cooksley, 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 Aromatherapy, Soothing Remedies to Restore, Rejuvenate, and Heal.
Nice.
Really good. And those two are really good. If you go into the MLMs, each MLM has its own Bible, if you will, and those are really good to help understand the blends that come with an MLM.
We have a minute.
Lisa, do you have any questions?
I don't know what it's going to do in a minute, so we'll see what happens.
It pretty much shuts you down, Mal.
Well, it may drop Lisa, or it may let you and I go. I don't know what will happen. But anyway,
Okay.
Questions?
No, this is great. You know, it's interesting because when you mentioned the tea tree, that's how I clean my yoga mat.
Yes.
I mix the tea tree oil and I spray it, you know, on my yoga mat because I do the hot yoga.
Great.
I've been using that for years to kind of disinfect my yoga mat.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I have a little diffuser beside my bed, and I think it's lavender that I have for that.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yep.
But this is good to learn about all these other ones because yeah, I want to definitely, use some more.
Great.
Yeah.
Great.
This is great. Thank you. Yeah. I mean, I just, I have asthma too, and I've been dealing with lower back pain, so maybe trying some of that peppermint.
Yeah, that would be really good for it. And with, you may want to try it like right after your yoga session to get that double bonus of the stretching that yoga gives you, and then help with the inflammation of doing it right after that. That might be a really good combination for you.
Okay, great. Yeah, that's good.
Also, Laura, I emailed Kelly at the school about the courses.
Oh, good.
Yep. So she said she'd get back to me and send me a link.
Great.
As to what she'd be teaching. I said that you recommended her, and that I was thinking of taking a class.
Cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
So get back to me.
Nice.
So thank you for all